Govind, good morning to you. So I understand you've got more details from people who previously stayed in that area. What do they have to say?
Quite right, Oli. So today's program for the President really involves the restitution of land, but also the acknowledgement and recognition of the other families who were dispossessed and then moved to other areas and settled on their land claims. So President Cyril Ramaphosa, as well as the Rural Development Minister and the Land Reform Minister Maite Nkwana Mashabane, will be here this morning to lay a wreath at this memorial site here in Kilner Park. And this is the site where people were also dispossessed through the Group Areas Act in 1954. So many of these families annually come to this area to commemorate their loved ones and also to pay tribute to them. And from here, the President is expected to move towards Pretoria East, where he will do the land handover, more than 100 hectares, so quite a sizable amount of land which will be given back to those 9 families. And that process has just recently been completed. But where we are right now is a site where the process was completed around 2013, and where the families actually settled for compensation, financial compensation, because the area around here is already developed. Most of it is suburban land, which is already occupied. But we do have with us only one of the former residents of this area. Sir, I'm joined now by Mr. Toby Wotko. Thank you so much, Mr. Wotko, for joining us. When you were here, this place was called Kilner Village. Kilnerton Village. Just tell us a little bit about what life was like when you were still living here.
Kilnerton Village was actually sort of a rural area because we used to do some farming here, reared cattle, planted maize, corn, and so on. And we had a good time here under the Church, the Methodist Church of South Africa, which was initially under the control of missionaries who founded this place.
And then comes 1954, and the Group Areas Act leads to you being forcefully removed from this area. You spoke about it happening in August. Can you recall the day and what it was like when that forced removal happened?
Yes, we were removed from here to a place called Vlakfontein initially, but now called Mamelodi, in August 1954. Some big government trucks came, loaded our stuff there to Mamelodi, to Vlakfontein.
And of course then you entered into negotiations with the government after submitting a claim for this land, and eventually you settled on compensation. Just tell us about that process, that settlement, and actual opportunities to get land back.
Yeah. The whole process started in August, in 1998, for all people to fill in forms and then submit them so that we could get claims from the state. But from my observation, the funds we got through restitution was meager. It was little. It was not enough.
What would you have preferred?
I would have preferred land better than this, because land is more viable than any other thing.
But this land is now developed and most of it is occupied. What options are available to you?
We were told that if in the event that somebody or our children want land, there's a place called now Lady Selborne. Yeah, now our people could move out to those places and get the land at a very reasonable price.
So you would still have to pay, and I think it's about 40 kilometers or more from this area.
Yeah, it's about 40 kilometers from here. Yeah.
Okay, and after it all, do you believe that your dignity has been restored through the land claims process and the restitution process?
I would say partly. We are not satisfied of what they gave us. We are not happy. We could have done more than this.
Thank you so much. That's Mr. Toby Wotko. As you can see, a very complex story to tell about his journey to this point. But we expect President Cyril Ramaphosa to elaborate more on the actual restitution process and the options that are available for people who are claiming land that is now developed and occupied. This is just the first stop for the President this morning. Of course, the big handover will happen towards Mamelodi, and that will be one of the biggest handovers in the Gauteng presidential land handover program so far.
Thank you very much for that update, our reporter Govind Whittles.